Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Les Lambert and I am the president of Lambo Mechanical. Lambo Mechanical is a government contract and general construction company that self-perform HVAC work here in New York City. I've been in the industry for about 10 years now. And since then, I've been seeing so much success. I got so good at getting government contracts that I decided that I want to share this knowledge that I have and decided to start a consulting companies where I get to teach the average person how to get into the government contracting space in the area of construction, right? For the most part, I can teach in different areas as well, but I'm in construction, so I know that very well. And I'm very confident in my ability to show others how to get in that space and be highly profitable and grow your business to a multi-million-dollar business, right? So that being said, let's get into it. Guys, in the government contracting space, I feel like right now, the way things are right now, the uncertainty, people losing jobs, interest rates so high, which means that private investors are not really spending money like that. So nothing's happening in the private sector, construction wise. But we also know that the government always have a budget every year for their stuff. Like there's many different government agencies out there. And just a disclaimer, guys, I'm talking about government contracting on a city and state level. I'm not talking about federal contracts. Even though I can speak about it, right now I'm not talking about that stuff. Why? Because everybody's talking about the federal stuff, right? Everybody's talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the city and state, because that's often overlooked, right? These are things that are in your backyard. I live in New York City. New York City is amongst the top 5 states in the country that gets the most money from the federal government, right? But tell me this, how much of you are actually looking into getting contracts on that level? Because the reality is most people, when they talk about government contracting, they're typically speaking about federal contracts. Federal contracts service the whole country, right? So let me ask you, does it make sense to go after federal contract and by the way, I'm not stopping anyone from going after federal contracts. Go for it. But the thing is, oftentimes, most people are not even aware about the city and state contracts. That's right there in your backyard, especially if you live in a place like within the top 5, states that gets the most funding, like New York City, California, Atlanta, Texas. Those places, who's asking questions how to gain contracts in states like that if you live in that state? You watching this video, you live in that state, answer me that question. You probably have no clue, because when you go online and you hear about government contracting, the first thing you hear about is federal stuff, right? And the way how you know that is because the first thing you're told to do is go on Sam's and set up an account. That's federal, okay? But what about city and state? Well, that's what we're gonna talk about right now. I live in New York City, so I do majority of my construction work here in New York City. And I'm telling you, I can't keep up with the work, okay? And you have agencies like the public schools, that's a government agency, right? That's government spending. But how many of you are actually tapped in to get procurement opportunities from the school system, right? Some of us take the subway. You're in New York City, we live in New York City. We take the subway. It's typically right around a block from where we live, right? That's the subway, right? Or we take a bus to go to school. Or maybe, we put our kids on these buses and trains and spending money every day, so that our kids can go to school. But let me ask you a question. That's also a government agency. Are you tapping in to opportunities that exist within that agency? Here in New York City, that's MTA, Metro Transit Authority. They spend a lot of money, okay? But are you tapped in to take advantage of opportunities that exist? Most people don't know how to do that. You got Amtrak, you have Port Authority, which is the airports. Do you know how to tap into opportunities within these agencies? Right? Most people are not even aware about these opportunities. Okay? So because I realized that, I decided to start this mentorship program where I can teach the average person how to get involved in the agencies, how to overcome the hurdles of working capital, how to structure out your business, how to set up the back office training for staff, project management, consulting. So if you get a project, paperwork management. So how do you complete all the paperwork after the paperwork is completed? How do you store that paperwork in a neat and organized way when you need something, you can go get it? All these things we get into, right? I literally teach individuals how to operate as a CEO within a structured organization and build your business out to millions of dollars. This is exactly what, I teach in a space of government contracting. I mean, government contracting in construction, there's a lot of different moving parts to a construction business doing government contracting. You have accounting, you have profit and loss, balance sheets, you have insurance, workers' comp, general liability, you have disability, you have audits, right? You have to do audits. Sometimes you get audited, you have to take care of audits. You have unions that you deal with, you have subcontractors, you have purchase orders, templates, you have marketing stuff, you have training for your back office that needs to be done. You have things that you have to pay for. You have vendors, suppliers, net 30 account, credit accounts, dealing with the bank, getting financing for your business, for materials, for stuff that you need to purchase. You have, what else do we have? This is from the top of my head, guys, so bear with me. You have employees, you have payroll, you have taxes, W-2s, 1099s. You have clients that you have to deal with. You have to deal with quality assurance. Making sure that the work that you're putting out is quality, is as per spec. You have to make sure that payroll is in within a period of time. You have to make sure that materials are accounted for, QuickBooks, all these things that you have to deal with, guys. And I'm gonna show you how to skillfully get it all done, all right? But I'm gonna start with showing you guys the basic steps that you have to take to get into the government contracting space. So in the next video, guys, hit the subscribe button so that when I do these videos and I start to share more and more game, it comes to you. And if you take advantage of this information now, especially while we don't have the following yet, you take advantage of this information now. By the time this video goes viral, you'll be a step ahead of the game. So if you're a beginner, you're now seeing this, you see that this video don't have that much views, you are lucky. You should get started right away. If you want to get on board on my consulting, you want to get into the government contracting space, you feel like what I'm saying makes a lot of sense, and if you want to get that guidance from me and how to start your business, structure your business, and get involved in the government space, book a one-on-one with me. You can go to my website, lessmeansmore.com. Book a one-on-one with me. We'll go more in depth and we can see how we can get you started. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.